Our pop culture has the power to bring diverse communities together. It's a bridge that connects us, its characters and their stories, sparking our imaginations and igniting our ambitions. From heroes to villains to creatures, we celebrate beloved icons of cinema, television, gaming, and comics through our licensed and original collectible products. Sideshow's mission is in creating highly detailed statues, posable figures, fine art prints, and prop replicas.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Dan Lok Show. Today, I'm like a kid in a candy land. You have no idea. Look at where we are at. Now, if you've been watching my videos on YouTube, you know from time to time I will do a lot of unboxing videos, and I see the comments that you ask me, where do you get the toys? Where do you get the collectibles? Here we are. Here we are. I'm so excited to be at the Sideshow studio, and thank you, Robin, for inviting us. So grateful to have us here. This is a dream come true. This is truly a dream come true.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. And in case you don't know Sideshow Studio, we're going to go into the story. What Sideshow is really about, I think, is connecting people with their favorite characters, right? Their icons, right? From your favorite TV shows, right? From your favorite movies, Iron Man, Batman, all the characters that you love. But maybe you see, it's just a toy company. We're going to talk about a lot more than that. Talk about the backstory a little bit, right? So, Robin, maybe share with us a little bit about how Sideshow, how this all started.
Wow. We've been in business. This year is going to be our 25th year.
25 years
right.
anniversary. Wow.
Very long time.
Yes.
And we started as a prototype development studio.
Yes.
And we were helping other businesses realize their dreams, their prototypes, their products.
Yes.
And we were doing well. We were making some money and being able to feed ourselves.
A very humble beginning, right?
Very humble beginning.
Just before the show, we were talking about 4 people.
Four people.
4 of you, right?
We started in a garage in Woodland Hills, which is San Fernando Valley.
Yes.
And technically it was probably half a garage because the car was still in the garage.
Yes.
But very small. And there was a crew of 4 people.
Wow.
And we were really fortunate. We found each other and we shared the same passions or similar passions. And we made a group and started working together. And it went on from there. And we were able to work with many larger companies. At that time, we were considered a subcontractor.
Yes.
So if you had a toy company or some other company, they would say, "Hey, let's send it out of house."
Yes.
We were the out of house.
Out of house.
we were the small little garage out of the house, but we were out of the house.
Yes.
So we did that for a few years, and we also took ideas that didn't work well in those toy companies, and they said, "Okay, this project is going to die. So can you make it better?"
Yes.
So we would redesign it and then present it back to them. And quite a few projects went super famous.
Yeah.
And we sat there going, wow, we did a lot of love and labor, but we got paid that much.
Like the beginning, the struggle in years, how long did that last? For like how many years? You 4 of you just kind of doing it out of passion?
It was quite a few years. We went probably, I think, 8-10 years.
Wow.
Before we really got traction. We were starting to work fluently, so we weren't worried about where the next meal was coming from.
Yes.
But we did the toy prototyping, and there are some things in the industry that were going a little south at that point.
Yes.
We had various strikes, writer strikes, actor strikes.
Yes.
So the industry was kind of shrinking, and some of those businesses were shrinking a little bit, so it made it a little harder if you're a group of starving artists to work.
What was a turning point for Sideshow? Like from that to now with
the turning point was
this huge 5 buildings, right?
Right. I think the turning point for
staff. Yeah.
The turning point was one of the items we designed went skyrocketed.
Like a viral, like it's like
Well,
not even viral. It just went.
You saw it on TV. You saw it. They made cartoons out of it. They made merchandise out of it, and we're like, maybe we got this little check. And there was really a lot of love and effort put into redesigning those particular sets of characters.
Right.
And unfortunately, I can't mention the characters, but it was a cartoon. They made it into a cartoon, and we said, enough. We're gonna do it for ourselves. We know how to do the prototyping. We've been doing this
So
for a
you
while.
know that you have the ability to create a product that people will love.
Right.
You know what
and
you could do.
We were fans ourselves. We were geeks.
Yes.
When we redesign something or we make the prototype, there's a certain level of fandom that goes into that.
Yes.
So, and on the side, we were doing all our own stuff, and it was all kind of pop culture, Hollywood related. So we said, why aren't we doing this for ourselves?
Yes.
And one of my partners, we were very blessed to make those connections at that time. He was a business guy, because you need a business guy.
You need a business guy.
When
You have
a bunch
all
of
the
artists.
others, yeah.
I want to do my art. And he's like, well, let's get all together. And
What are we gonna do? What's the model, right?
What's the goal? What's the model? What's the business model? How do we make this, sell this, present it? So he was instrumental in that. And we were lucky because each partner had their own skill set that they brought to the table.
Nice.
And I think that was really the magic, that we were geeks, but we also had a skill set, and we didn't step over on somebody else's skill set.
So everyone has their own areas of expertise, and you have a strong business person.
We had a business person, we had a painter, we had a sculptor, and a graphic designer.
Wow.
So we had our own mini studio.
Yes,
at that time,
a mini studio.
which is great.
Yes.
So it was that turning point of, they made how much money? It's a cartoon. It's got products. I'm like, no, we can really do this.
Because as you think about it, most people think about toys. Well, is that a real business? Can you make a living doing it? Right? I'm curious in terms of even pricing all the items that you have, because they are like toys, or they're toys, but most toys are sold to kids. But to me, like these are not even. I don't want to call them toys. They're like collectibles. Right. It's selling more to adults.
Even at that time, when we made items, they were in the toy category.
Yeah.
But we considered them differently because we brought a tailor in that worked with the studios and was making actual costumes.
Yeah.
So we went hardcore. We're like, we're gonna
make it as realistic as possible.
We're gonna try and reproduce exactly what you saw on film.
Yeah.
And I think we did really well. Our first license was with Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And we did the Classic Monsters.
Oh, nice,
Right.
nice.
Yeah, that was one of our gets.
Yes.
We all were like, yes, I love the Frankenstein films and the classic Hollywood. Because
Yes.
we thought that was classic Hollywood.
Yes.
But at that time, you didn't see a lot of product.
Yeah.
And when you did see it, it was in October. It was for Halloween.
Yeah.
And then you would see, all the generic stuff come out. But we never saw figures. We never saw statues. We never saw anything that was what we would consider classic and collectible for people of that age range at the time. And we were fortunate to meet with a product rep, and we got into Universal and said, hey, we're interested in licensing the monsters. And they said, it's not Halloween. I'm like, we know. We're going to sell it.
Yes.
Like, but it's not Halloween. We're going to sell it in spring.
Yes.
We're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
So our first license was in the 8-inch figure category.
Okay.
And it was slightly jointed figures.
Okay.
And they were just like, here you go. You go, guys. You 4 people, you go.
Yeah. Good luck.
But
Like
good
it's
luck.
a little bit like
And what we didn't realize at the time is that Universal didn't hold the likeness rights for any of the actors, and that's why when you were seeing product, it was very generic. It wasn't of Karloff. It wasn't as Lugosi.
Yes.
And they said, well, now you have our license. You license for the monsters, but now you have to go make deals with all the estates.
Oh, okay.
Right. And we're like, yes, we will. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of skepticism from the studio.
Yeah.
And they said,
Because no one's ever done it.
no. And they were having difficulty connecting with the estates. And fortunately, we got a hold of Sarah Karloff, and she represented her father's estate. We said, hey, we got this crazy idea. We got the license from Universal. We want to make it look like your dad. Because there was no product, no official, what they would call officially licensed product in the marketplace, showing the classic actors' faces on that product. So we were able to make deals with the Karloff and the Lugosi estate, and we did the first and the Cheney. So we did the top 3.
Yes.
And our product line was sold to Toys R Us at the time.
Oh, wow.
And it, bam, sold out. Because the collector's like, where did this come from?
Like, it's like, this is...
Right, where did it come from? And it actually looks like what I remember from my childhood.
Yes, that's exactly
like what I remember when my dad took me to the movies. Or when I'm up late at night and I'm watching the films. And there was an emotional connection that their faces brought to those characters. Because that's what made them the characters in the film.
Because I think about it, like, I never collected toys before coming across the first product, like from Sideshow. Like, I never collect. I'm a businessman.
It's an addiction,
right? and then when I saw, I think I was browsing online one day and I saw this figure. I forgot which was the first one I bought. Maybe it's Iron Man. I'm not so sure. Like the first one.
That's classic.
Right? And I'm like, this is not a toy. This like, it feels like the connection. If you can bring this home, a piece of the memory, the film, the excitement, the emotion, right?
That's the connection. That's
different.
Why when we did that first product line, we were geeks.
Yes.
We were pop culture geeks, and that was a labor of love, and we were ecstatic.
Yes.
To the point where we went to Toys R Us, at the local Toys R Us, and we took cameras, and we were in the aisle taking pictures of the product on the shelf because we were so excited.
Like, we made it,
I have to say, we got bounced out of that Toys R Us because they were like, no pictures, like we were paparazzi at the time. I don't know why. They were like, you can't take pictures in here, but that's how excited we were, that we were emotionally attached to it. And we got a lot of feedback from fans that said, thank you, because this is what I remember it looked like. And I have it, or I gifted it to my father, and he can't believe that it looks like that. So it was gratifying.
It's 100%.
That one, we made the right choice. And that it worked. And that it was well received by the fans. So we did that line, and then we came back with a larger 6-scale version. So we upscaled it, and then again that was in Toys R Us.
Would you say also because of the timing for now, let's say last 10 years, the Marvel universe, all the superheroes, really it's both Sideshow and that, it both kind of grew together, right?
We were in a good spot at that time. And we worked well collectively. And we didn't quit. We just had a lot of hard work and not giving up. And even when we failed, we had to regroup and start a different way. And that's for us, I think, and for me personally, failure is good. Some people get freaked out about it, and they let it sidetrack them. But I think in certain respect, failure gives you that breathing moment to reflect back and
or
say,
to reinvent, maybe.
What did I do wrong? You know, how can I make that better? Or do I trash that idea and go in a different direction? It gives you that pause moment. So failure's good. It's when you have repetitive, identical failure. That's stupid.
That means we haven't learned from our mistakes.
That's stupid. You can't continue to fail in the same manner, because then you're not learning. So we did have a lot of failure, but we were able to pick ourselves back up.
Robin, was there a time during the last 25 years, like moments where like it was a pivotal moment? It's like it could be one of those moments where, okay, when this works, it's gonna be great. This doesn't work, oh, we're gonna be like in big trouble. Like those moments. I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of ups and downs. Share with us maybe a couple of those moments.
I think, you know, once we got into the momentum with the Universal license and we got product in the store, we weren't knowledgeable about what happens in the store. We weren't knowledgeable about any of that. So that was the school of hard knocks. And in some cases, there's a lot of hidden rules that stores run by,
Yeah.
And they make the manufacturers jump through flaming hoops.
Yeah, and then pay them late and all that, right? Yeah.
Right, and you know, the interesting thing with some stores is they have their own time frame of what they think things should sell through by.
Yeah.
And if it isn't sold,
You're gone, yeah.
they take it and they toss it in a discount bin.
Yeah.
And then if it's not sold from there, they literally send it back to you, crushed, and say, give us our money back.
Yeah.
And you have a crushed product.
Yeah.
So for us, that was difficult.
Yeah.
You know, when you have geeks and you have people that are emotionally invested, because
Yeah.
not only are our clients emotionally invested, we're emotionally invested.
Yeah.
And then you get it back and sell it crushed. You
Yeah.
know, and we made a change to not sell to major stores.
Yes.
That we were going private. We were going to do self-distribution.
Online?
We were going to sell online, and
Yeah.
we weren't going to be distributing our product through an actual distributor, and we weren't going to be selling to Toys R Us and major stores. That we're going to go through specialty shops and mom and pop shops,
Yes.
and then we were going to be selling online.
Yes.
So for us, that was a big change for us,
Yes.
because we were bucking the norm, because they said, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Everybody gets distributed. Everybody uses a diamond, or everybody uses some sort of distributor to push their product.
And toys, you got to touch it and feel it and all that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But we thought we had the key, that we were going to sell to local shops,
Yep.
and they're already invested in tailoring the experience to the people in their town.
Yes.
So they could be our brand ambassadors and sell the product, and then we would also sell online,
Yes.
and then we would start taking control of our own destiny.
Yes.
And because at that time, everybody was saying, no, you have to do it this way. And again, we had a moment where we had to step back and say, we understand the normal path, but we're going to try and do it differently. And so we became self-distributed. And now, from there to where we're at now, we're distributing.
Probably,
globally.
what percentage of the customers are coming from online? Like, is it what percentage coming from like the smaller boutique stores now?
Oh goodness, it's hard to tell, because we have boutique stores, but we also have distribution. So we have some distributors throughout
yes.
Throughout Asia,
Yes.
Europe,
Yes.
and so they sell to other stores. So it's really hard to say
I
what
see.
that quantity is.
I see.
But we've been successful. I'm not complaining.
Yes.
I'm not worried about where the next meal is coming from.
And I love the model from a business perspective. I think it's very smart, because a lot of the, let's say the items, the products I order, some of them are limited, right? You don't always carry, so you don't carry a lot of inventory, right?
Yeah.
So then I know, and then also it creates urgency. Okay, I gotta buy this, because Sideshow might not have it like a year from now, or they become very, very expensive. Even I buy it like on eBay and things like that, right? So that's, from that perspective, I think it's awesome. And then also I could see where you can pre-order certain products. Where toys usually is an impulsive buy, right? Kids in the store, they see that toy, that's cool, right? This is not like, no, I waited sometimes a year for my
It's
my
also
item to
different
arrive.
manufacturing.
Yes.
You know, when you're seeing those plastic toys,
Yeah.
they're manufactured way different. They're
Yeah.
in tens of thousands. And our product is hand molded, handmade, hand assembled
Yeah.
in a lot of cases,
Yes.
and hand painted.
Yes.
So it's very difficult sometimes to.
It's not mass production.
We're gonna make 50,000. That's not the nature of the product.
Yeah.
It's of how you go from start to finish. It's a very artistic manual process.
Yes.
So that's why you have the limited editions.
And it's so happy, like as a fan, I would buy one product, let's say an Iron Man figure, and then there's another one, like that's a different color or a different look, and that's great. You collect that, and then there's another figure, and it is addictive. It is.
Well, especially with Iron Man.
It's addictive.
You had movie one was three,
1, 2, 3
was 3 suits, and then movie 2 is like 900. Like they just exploded the amount of suits.
Yeah.
And now you're like, okay, well, that suit's cool, and that suit's cool, and I want a heavy lifting Iron Man suit. It's like more of kind of an army heavy lifter one.
Yeah.
But they were so unique.
Yeah.
That,
the Hulkbuster, right?
Right. Yeah. And they were so unique that if you're an Iron Man fan, you're like, now I need. It's not where it was a color shift. They were significant designs.
Yes.
And they unique.
Different abilities.
Paint applications and different abilities. So now you went, I need them all.
Yeah.
You know, and then they have the Hall of Armors.
That's right.
So
that's beautiful.
The
And then
collectors
when do you guys transition to more than making more the life size or bigger figures?
Well, you know, the interesting thing is we started out doing bigger figures, bigger life-size busts.
Yes.
And then that went away. When we were doing the prototyping, we, like I said, we were doing other things, other passion pursuits. And at that time, we were working with a comic book artist named Bernie Wrightson.
Okay.
And he had just released a beautiful graphic novel of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So we did a life-size bust of Bernie's item, of his Frankenstein. It was beautiful.
Wow.
So that was limited edition, but at the time we were a small studio,
Yes.
so I think it was like an edition of 25.
25, yes.
So if somebody can find the Bernie Wrightson Sideshow bust,
That's
you know,
special.
It's gonna be,
Very special.
It's very rare. So a lot of these categories we're working in, we were working in, just nobody knew it.
Yes.
So when we got the chance to start working back into the life size,
Yes.
we're like, oh, bring it on.
Yes.
We're ready.
Yes.
We've been ready to do that. So.
Yes. And I think one of the key things about all the items I collect is it's not just a figure, but it comes with a lot of accessories.
Yes.
So then you don't get bored. It's he's just a figure, but hey, you can change the hands, you can change the head, you can change this, and you get different position and different things. It makes it very interesting to play, but also interesting to display.
We had a lot of clients that reach out and say, I love this figure. I don't know what to do with it. I can't pose it. It doesn't look like anything. You guys have beautiful galleries online because we have a wonderful photography team and video team.
Yes.
And the customers were struggling to make it look like that. So now we have a series of how to be a poser where we have one of our, a gentleman that's what he does. He's very talented at that. So he has his own series. We're like, okay, this is how you pose this figure.
Yes.
So we walk collectors through step by step if you want to make it do
I
certain
remember the first couple figures. I'm like, this doesn't look very good.
Right.
Like the hand is like this and it's like this. That's not a very like heroic pose, right? It's like look odd.
The great thing about Terry in that series is he'll tell you why he's doing that.
Yeah.
He said if you want to look dynamic,
Create
this is how
certain
you do
emotions,
it.
yeah.
He'll actually give you tips on how the wrist works and why you have to turn it certain ways. So he's not just showboating, he's actually teaching you how to do that, which is our collectors gave us positive feedback on that.
Right.
So I'm glad that we can help them to pose it in their collections. And they send us pictures. It's just beautiful.
And you have a blog. I know all the collectors, they take photos, they enter kind of like a contest. Like is it Collector of the Month?
Yes, it's
right?
Yeah.
Collector of the Month. I gotta enter that.
Well, and the good thing is we want to see everybody's collection. So we're not looking for overwhelm me with your collection. It's show me your favorite piece. Show me what you
just
got.
your passion, right?
Your passion, whether it's one or two pieces or if you've designed a whole room. We've had people that have designed custom rooms. We've had people that just have certain corners available and they decorate a certain corner of their house.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh goodness, I was just talking with your crew beforehand. I love Deadpool.
Yes.
Because he just gets away with so much stuff.
Yes.
So much stuff. When you're having a hard day at work, you just want to Deadpool somebody. And if you guys know the character, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So that's my
And he's so different from every other character.
Right.
He's just not politically correct.
Not politically correct. Just a lot of physical slapstick stuff in the character, and so that he's one of my favorites.
Yes.
But I'm also we recently did a statue of oh goodness, we did one for How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, How to Train Your Dragon, yes. Yeah, that's it.
He was he was really cool. So.
I do also want to ask you about the team, because the team is what makes the company work, right?
Absolutely.
One thing I love, if you've never purchased anything from Sideshow, let me walk you through the process. After you purchase, at the end, there's a thank you, right? And the thank you, there's a little video. There's all the team saying, hey, thank you. It's, for the first time I saw, that's very unusual. And I love that video, because when you buy something online, keep in mind, like when I buy a toy, all I saw was the picture. So I bought the picture, and I really don't, even before I came to the studio, I didn't know how big the company is. I thought, oh, maybe you got 10 people, 20 people. You don't know, you have no idea, right? There's no concept. But when you can see the people, the culture behind the company, it almost makes me feel, oh, like this real people behind this, and they're just like me, they are fan and they
right.
They,
It's
they
come on
yeah
in.
like
You're pop culture geek
pop
like
culture,
us.
yeah, like we're one of us. So
Sometimes it's hard to find a connection like that.
Yeah.
And we're the hub. You know, I want to be the hub because we spent so many years as artists struggling to find other people to connect with.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the unique things of our business, that even we went from 4 people to 160, but it still feels like family. It's close. You know, we try to keep that atmosphere, and a lot of the people we have on staff are also pop culture geeks. You know, some do cosplay. You know, some have gaming.
Go to Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yes.
Comic-Con,
every year we go to Comic-Con. And but there's such a wide variety of passions and interests and pursuits. Some people are gamers, you know, hardcore gamers. Some people are sci-fi, Dungeons and Dragons. You know, we haven't. There's probably nothing that you can't name that one of the 160 people that work.
But I could see just even walking. I'll make sure I include some B-roll in here. But even with
we got a lot of B-roll.
Yeah, in the office. Andy, you can see is right there, right? Andy was sharing with me the CEO of the company. The CEO of the company is actually a vegan, right? Mm-hmm. So he has this kitchen that provides vegan food and also teaches the staff how to make vegan food. Yeah. See, that's all part of the culture. It's very unusual, again, for just a prototype, a toy company. Like that's different. That's all culture to me, right? From what I see. I think that's so. I bet so. The staff, it's very close, right?
It's important for us to make it a family, and my partner Greg always says it's not about the product, it's about the people. Yeah. And it is about the people, because if you're connecting with your coworkers and you're connecting as a group and you love where you work, then you're going to be happier in what you're producing.
And the customers will feel it.
The customers will feel it, and we haven't been shy about sharing the staff with the customers. We have live chat, you know, email, but we also have the online shows. We have different venues to bring the staff to the people. Yes. So we have weekly shows, and we'll pull people from customer support. And then one of the interesting interactions we just had, we had one of the guys from customer support do an unboxing, and in the chat was like, "Hey, that was the guy yesterday that helped me with my coupon code." Oh, nice. So it was nice because they get to. These are real people. You're not calling a call center.
Yeah, it's not an actor. Just
right.
Like
it's not an actor. You're not calling a call center. These are people that actually work here and come every day and deal with the product and help create the product, or they help to fulfill the product once it's sold to the collectors. So it's a.
So now how the Sideshow structure now? So I know you have the multimedia side, right?
We do.
You have the delivery shipment side, and you have the kind of the creation prototype side. How does the company divide, like in terms of functions?
It's creating the product and fulfilling the product. I think is the easiest way to define it.
And then you have the studio, right?
Yeah, we have the studios and
beautiful, by the way. Look at this. This is awesome. You only see pizza, but it's beautiful. This
showing
chunk.
You this much.
Yeah, there's this chunk. There's that chunk. That's this chunk.
Well, it's really a two-part system, because we want to create collectibles that people have an emotional attachment to. Yes. And it fulfills a moment, or it captures a moment in their life where they remember. I remember when I went to the theater with my family. I remember when we sat in front of the TV and watched this. Yes. I think I'm a superhero, so therefore I want the Iron Man, because I can picture myself as Tony Stark in the suit, and that's me, and I want it. Yes. But then there's another portion of the business that has to deliver on that emotional purchase. And what we have to do on that side of the business is not create disappointment. Because you don't want disappointment. Yeah. You want that emotional excitement to carry through all the way to delivery. So that's what their objective is to connect with the customer, make sure they're happy, make sure all their questions are answered, their accounts are taken care of, and to be able to shepherd that product to them and get it delivered to their door, and to really close that.
That's actually a great point. Like, not to create disappointments, because I was just before we turned the camera, I was showing Robin like I just have like Sideshow delivered to my house today.
And here.
Yeah, like here, like seriously, I have the shipment all the time.
And I'm glad that our text messaging is working.
Yeah, it's working very well. It's very working well. But I bought like toys from other companies, like a couple other brands. I won't name, right? But similar, like figure and stuff like that. The hand doesn't work. or it doesn't look right, or it's something like so now I don't buy from anybody except Sideshow anymore. Like it's just.
That's awesome.
It's just there's some other character.
No,
I've never seriously, not because I'm in Sideshow studio, I've never been disappointed one time. Not one time.
It's lovely to hear that. Thank you. And we work hard to make that happen, and but we're not delusional to know that stuff happens. Things break.
Yes. When you ship
you're shipping it, and you can. We had one customer that kept complaining that his stuff was broken, and like, oh, I'm so sorry, let's replace that for you. And then he was taking pictures, and there was a boot print on his box. I said, there's a boot print. He upset the delivery guy, and the guy
every single time.
And the delivery guy was squashing it, and so we helped try and rectify that for him. But the ultimate journey of that product, it was still broken.
Yes.
So we had to, rectify it and replace it and make it whole, and make his emotional attachment and his understanding of what he was going to get from that product whole. But some things like happen that you never foresee. And we know it's going to happen, and if we try to work our hardest to make it right.
Yes.
And if not, we try to improve their experience for next time.
Yes.
So that's one of those failure points. It's like, okay, I'll fail, but we're going to try, and we're going to try and improve it, and make sure that the clients are happy the next time.
Where do you see Sideshow is going in the next 5 years? So now we've gone 25 years, like 30th anniversary. Yeah. So 30th anniversary, like where would you see Sideshow is at?
I want to be in a completely different place than we are now.
Okay.
We have been working on our IP. We have one of our IPs,
Court of the Dead.
The Court of the Dead, but we have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. Some really exciting stuff coming up.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I can't say it.
Stay tuned.
But we have a lot of things piled up to activate, in the next few years. So we're super excited internally, and we keep.
I can't wait.
I'm so super excited. I just can't tell you about it.
Wait. It's a cliffhanger.
I know, it's a cliffhanger. We'll have to do another interview.
Yeah, well, we'll come back and do another interview.
Yes. Now we can talk about it.
Now we can talk about it. So for my audience, maybe they just want to purchase the first product, or they've been following me for some time, that they want to now expand the collection, or
they can do that online.
But I'm telling you, if you buy your first one, that's it. It's game over. Like it's a never-ending black hole. That's my warning.
Because we've designed it to be a never-ending black hole.
Once you get your first one, that's it. You're done.
We try to make the client experience quick and easy, so that you can go to sideshow.com and
Sideshow.com,
you can browse.
YouTube, definitely follow on YouTube if you want tips.
We're on Instagram. But just the experience online, when you're on the product page, hopefully we can serve you up videos. We can serve you up a gallery. You can see all different sides of what you're going to be purchasing. You can click online chat and talk to one of our geeks in customer support, because they're either a fan, or they have the product sitting in front of them, or they've been down in production while they're sculpting the product. So they're very knowledgeable about the product. And then we also have flexible payment plans.
Oh yes, it's actually very important, because it's for most people it's a $400 figure, right? It's not a $30 figure.
Well, we originally started the flexible payment plans, I believe early 2000s, and nobody in the industry was doing it at all. And we tailored it based on the client interaction that I had. And he said, hey, I wanted to buy this item, but I got the money and I blew it. I just spent it. And now I'm kicking myself because I really wanted this item, and I only have X amount of dollars left. So he said, can I just send you all my money and then you can allocate it for me? And I said, yes, we'll make that happen.
Bingo.
And we did, and that was the inspiration of the flexible payment plan, because we realized some of the clients were struggling and didn't quite know how to finance their money to make that purchase happen. So in some cases, it allowed that collector to be able to obtain their dream item that they thought they couldn't, because the one lump sum was so overwhelming for them. So the payment plan said, hey, you can pay for it $75 a month, and we'll hold on to it, and we'll ship it out when it's ready.
And some of the items, even when you pre-order, you just make a deposit, then you can still keep making payment when it's finished.
Well, we try to time it
before the release, right?
Right. When we have things in production, we try to time the payment plan so once you finish your last payment, your item is delivering with everybody else's.
Nice.
Because you still want that excitement. And you don't want to go online and hear from some guy how the item is great and he loves it and you're missing out, but your payment plan still has 2 payments to go.
Yes.
So we try to time it appropriately so everybody gets that
I just
excitement.
remember, I'll share a quick story before we wrap this up. So I go to see movies all the time. That's a movie, but that's how I relax, right? So every single time I would go see, let's say, one of the Marvel movies. Usually after the day or 2, I would get an email from Sideshow. Exactly the movie I just watched, right? So let's say I just watched Iron Man 3, and then it's Iron Man 3 figures. Oh, here we go. And my wife would be like, oh, Sideshow just times you perfectly. They know when you're watching the movies.
I'm surprised we haven't found out your wife's email address.
Oh, yes,
I'm like, this is what he wants.
This is what he wants. How do you know? It's perfect time. Every single time. So it's awesome. It's so awesome. Thank you, Robin. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming out, and we're gonna take your tour.
Yeah, so make sure I want to include some special B-roll for you, and make sure also check out Sideshow. Just go to the website. Get your first collection.
Yes, please.
Do your unboxing video. Don't just watch my unboxing video. Do your own unboxing video.
We love to see everybody that gets the product, they unbox it.
Yes.
Send pictures of your first product if you get one, and share your collection with us because we're geeks and we love to see that kind of stuff. So please hit our social media channels, hit us up online at sideshow.com and share your passion.
Yes, and comment below what else you want to see.